We got our monthly subscription box in from Foundation today, so let's dive straight into this box and see what we get. Welcome back, or welcome in. This is a little bit of a different type of video than I would normally do, but the weather's pretty crappy outside, so getting to get a chance to throw right now is a little difficult, and my typical babysitters are preoccupied, so I can't get full rounds in right now without just going over the little backyard course, which we'll be having a new video of that one coming out here soon with some adjustments to the layout. But anyway, starting off with this monthly subscription box from Foundation. Picked this up, nice easy way for me to get some random new discs to try out, so thought it'd be fun. For starters, they gave me a new mini, little Foundation stamp mini disc, which these are great because I have a bad habit of leaving my minis on the course when I am playing. For whatever reason, I set them down and forget to pick them up. I don't really know why. Anyway, first disc in this box, we have a Skyline, or Skyway, my bad. 11.5, -1, 3. So Wraith numbers, it feels pretty good, hand feel. Parting line looks pretty neutral, honestly. I imagine it's got some stability to it. Hopefully I'll be able to get out to the field in the next day or so, even if it is still a little wet, to give these some flights to add to this video so we can see what they are. But we'll get there. Plastic feel a little bit softer, which again, I like those softer plastics, so I'm good with this. Feels nice. So that's Skyway. I will save this one for last because I like the stamp on this one and I think it looks good. Anyway, so we have a Bel Air, which I'm pretty sure is a 5402 with their little Foundation stamp, which is hiding our glide number, but it's a mid-range. They're usually 5.4s. Hand feels good. It's got a little bead here. Boop. Feels nice though. Again, this is, I would say, pretty normal plastic. It feels good though. Very similar to pretty much any other premium plastics that I've felt for mid-ranges. It's got that firm feel to it with a little bit of flex, not too rigid. I'd like to throw this and see how it compares to my balance. I imagine not quite as stable, maybe a little bit more workable. We'll see. And then this last one is Kenny's Goat Farm. This stamp, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a good vision, like a good view for you guys to see this, but I'll try to like just plaster on my shirt and zoom in so there's no like color background. Anyway, you have a Connor goat here. There's a Trevor and Hunter over here. Trevor there, Hunter here. So Ken Climo with his little goat apprentices. So that's kind of amusing to me. But stamp looks pretty cool. It's another driver. I'm gonna guess 11 speed, kind of hard to tell. I don't actually know what it is. It might just be the Skyway with another print. I know they said they were putting these in. Oh, it's an Osprey. I see. Look at me paying attention. Anyway, so it's an Osprey. I'll have to look up the flight numbers on this, so whenever I get out to throw it, I will let you guys know what that is. That parting line looks a little low, so it might be neutral, but it's probably a 10 speed if I had to guess, just by feel. But honestly, this plastic feel is one of my favorites because it's pretty soft. I like being able to get my thumb pressed into that flight plate. But all in all, looks pretty good so far. I'll get out into the field and throw these as soon as the weather breaks and get this video finished up for everybody. But anyway, that's where I'm at for now, so until I make it out to the field. Okay, well, I said I would get out here for a field day. So I came out the next morning, and I'm not gonna lie, it's chilly. Should have wore sweatpants, but I didn't. Also crazy windy because the other storm is blowing in. I'm gonna try to get this done before it starts raining and the camera gets blown over, so that ought to be fun. We'll just lower this down, I guess. Anyway, I'm just gonna do a couple throws with each and get quick flights. I forgot to bring a towel out, so they're probably gonna be wet by the time I throw the second one. It is what it is. We'll start with our mid-range here. So, new Ken Climo Bel Air. Let's see how this thing flies. You can definitely see that headwind working, but not too bad of a flight. All right, let's try Skyway. New Ken Climo Skyway. Let's see how this one flies. I'm assuming it's gonna be a little stable. Oh God, not stable at all. Interesting. So that's supposed to be Wraith adjacent, but I didn't fly anything like a Wraith. Okay, now new Ken Climo Osprey. This was a 10.5 -3.1. I looked that up last night for you guys. But here we go. Let's see how this baby flies. I'm assuming it needs a little bit of hyzer. Ooh, the wind just takes it. Oh, the wind just absolutely takes that away. All right, I'm gonna go fetch those real quick and then come back, give a little bit of thoughts, and then probably move on because it's a little chilly. Maybe give it one more throw, we'll see. Anybody ever hear that old Midwest saying of, it wouldn't be cold if it wasn't for the wind? That is right now. Right now. Wouldn't be bad at all if it wasn't for the wind. But anyway, I'm gonna throw these out one more time. I'm gonna try to throw the Bel Air again, throw a bit more flat, and see what it wants to do with that angle. Okay, that's pretty much a straight flight. There's no turn, so that 0 is very accurate. And it gets a nice soft fade at the end. I kind of really like that, honestly. All right, here we go with the Skyway. I'm gonna try to throw this on, I guess, a little flat and see. I think there was a bit of a right to left, or left, yeah, left to right, that took this last time on that Anheuser angle I tried to put it on. So I'm gonna try to throw it flat, see what it does. Depending on how that flight is, I might throw it again with a little bit of hyzer, but let's hope not. Okay, that was just straight with a lot of fade. Not a whole lot of turn. It says it's supposed to be -1. I don't know if I believe the flight numbers on that right now, but yeah. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this little tree right here is just like flexing over like crazy. And for them to be flexing that much, like this close to the ground, this wind is stupid right now. All right. Okay, I'm gonna throw the Osprey again. I'm gonna try to throw it flat, and we'll see if it gets any, how much turn it gets, and if it wants to fade back or not. I'm actually gonna aim this one a little bit further left, mostly because if it keeps going on a flat angle, I don't want it to be across the road. So we're gonna aim it over a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a roller. That is a roller. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. That's interesting. I'm actually about to measure that out because that's probably like 350-ish off that roll. So I'm gonna set a view disc real quick, measure that, and I guess I'll bring the camera back and tell you what it is when I get there. All right, so as we're walking out here, I don't really feel the need to throw any of those again. So I'll just give you my final thoughts. So the new Ken Climo disc from the new Ken Climo line, really, you've got your mid-range, 10 speed, and an 11 speed. So we'll start with the Bel Air. That mid, honestly, I really like it. It feels buzz adjacent, maybe a touch more stable than the baseline buzz, but the flight on it feels really nice. A good hand feel as it comes out, good hand feel in general. Out of the 3 discs, I felt like it had the most pop, so not too bad with it. As we're coming up to it now, it was real overcast today, so it takes these a little longer than it should. But we're about 280, 288, 290. Anyway. Not bad distance for a 5-speed, I would say. Now this Osprey over here, let's go get it. And then I guess I gotta go far left for the Skyway, which looks like it was pretty similar to what the
what the Bel Air was. Now, this Osprey's coming in at 360. And once it hit the ground, I hope the camera was able to catch it because it's a little bit hilly out here, so you probably lost most of the flight on that, or most of the roll, but it rolled dead straight. I literally threw this thing flat. It went forward a little bit at a kind of a, you know, that normal right turn that you get out of an understable disc, and it dropped and hit and just rolled. It's honestly, it might be a better option than like my Mamba is right now. Especially, I don't know, we'll have to see. And with this being brand new, I imagine it's only going to get more understable as it beats in, but time will tell. Time will tell. All right, getting over to this Skyway here, which nothing to write home about. It's way too windy and I couldn't throw it on a good distance line to really track it, but since we got it out, 295, 300. It's bouncing around. It's supposed to be Wraith adjacent. I don't feel like it flies much like the Wraith yet, but then again, I've always been told that my Wraith is super beefy, so maybe it's just my version of it that's giving issues versus the actual disc itself, but to be determined. Out of these three, I think if you pick these up early on in your time playing, before you found any other favorites or anything else that you might rock with, that these would fit pretty well into your lineup. Especially this Bel Air. This feels like a great beginner friendly mid-range. A little bit of stability, nothing crazy, and it just flies dead straight with that nice consistent fade on it. Like, I really feel like this would be great in people's bags. This Osprey, if you're anything like me when I started, no forehand, so right turns definitely could be useful. I'd love to get back out here on a day where it's less windy to actually see how it holds those angles, but as I saw with the Skyway, as soon as I exposed that flight plate on that Anheuser angle, this thing was gone, because it is not supposed to be anywhere near that flight path, especially after we saw how it flew the second time. So fun, good times, gotta love it. All in all, that is our Ken Climo disc. Shout out to Foundation monthly subscription box for sending these out. I'm actually really surprised that, given the fact that it's Ken Climo, that he didn't have this like way before now. But anyway, shout out to him for getting his lineup going. So that's here at a cold, soon to be rainy, windy, miserable day is what it's gonna look like. So inside games for me and the kids. Other than that, it's been Disc Daddy from Diapers to Drivers. Until next time.